Seriously, lately it's just ask and you shall receive with curl as of late. Well, sort of. You see, in my last video about the version synchronization plan, I had some concerns, but one of the pieces of information I wanted from them was how they would structure their integrated versions. Next thing you know, here we are. The event calendar is out. This is a weird schedule because this can set a precedent for what's to come in the later versions down the road for next year. And I'm a little worried about that. So let's go over this. The integrated patch will start on the 10th of January, and it will consist of 3 versions: Source Beacon, Stars Ensnared, and When Day Breaks. So let's talk about what comes out immediately on the 10th. The first thing you will be met with is the Stars Ensnared signing event, which will ask you to sign in for a total of 14 days to obtain all of its rewards, including a new Hong Ying skin. Then for the events, there will be 2 Stars Ensnared related events: Spring Song Boons, where you can complete a specified number of missions to claim an S-Rank Omniframe Choice Pack among other rewards, and then there's the Chess Wonderland minigame. So already off the rip, we're getting some Stars Ensnared events on the 10th when the integrated version comes out, which is an interesting choice to make. I'll talk about that later. Moving on to the story content, on the 10th, you'll have access to the Source Beacon chapter, which is associated with Teddy. 1 week after, on the 17th, the Stars Ensnared story with Luna will be unlocked, and then 1 week after that, on the 24th, Bridget's story will be unlocked. As for the character banners, on the 10th, Luna Oblivion's banner will be out first. Then on the 17th, Teddy's banner will be available. And finally on the 24th, Bridget's will be available. Note that all 3 banners will end on February 19th, basically when this integrated version ends. If you are familiar with how the versions are supposed to go, the order starts with Source Beacon into Stars Ensnared into When Day Breaks, much like how the story goes chronologically. So a lot of the confusion is mostly rooted in how they timed everything. This isn't a bad structure by any stretch of the imagination, but I do have some concerns. Let me just preface with this. I think it's nice that Luna will be available off the rip when the version arrives, and I'm also happy that Luna will be available for the entire run of the integrated version. The problem is that the other 2 banners are not the same case. Teddy and Bridget's banners become active around different times and have a much smaller window to roll, as their banners also end on February 19th. Though, to be fair, they are both A ranks. But this is why I said I hope this doesn't set a precedent, because imagine if we get a version with multiple S ranks. If a S rank took on the position of one of those A ranks and maintained the same timings, we might be looking at something that could turn out to be unfair, primarily for the case of the final slot, which is why I wanted to see how the schedule would play out, because timing coincides with when we get the rewards, not just how much rewards we get. When we look back at the normal versions, we get around 5 weeks to roll for a character. Luna's and Teddy's banner seems alright, but if you look at Bridget's, it's 1 week less. Even if it's 1 week less, we should be worried about that because it's fundamentally unfair. Personally, I'd prefer that all characters are available for the full 6 weeks, so time will be granted to all to roll in that integrated version. Even for the case of the A ranks, it's still important. The fact that it's 100% rate up should change how we perceive things, especially for those who want copies. Going back to the topic about events, I think they made the right decision putting the Stars Ensnared version stuff up front because this is the version where it's raining rewards. On top of that, it's better to start earning the rewards early rather than increasing FOMO and earning them later. Though, I do find it a bit confusing as you'll find that the Wreck-It Bear minigame from Source Beacon will come out on the 25th, while the Azuki-san's World Collaboration event from Bridget's patch comes out on the 24th. The timing feels all over the place. One last thing to highlight are the special effects codings. On the 10th, Luna Oblivion and Alpha Crimson Weave special effects codings will come out. Then on the 17th, it's Lamia's coding. After that, on the 24th, it will be Bianca Stigmata's alongside the rerun for the Dreamcatcher coding for Live Imperia. It appears that for the skins, it doesn't sound too bad. The duration for the first couple of skins lasts for 12 weeks, and for the latest one, it will last for 9 weeks. It's not too terrible timing wise, you still get more weeks regardless, but there's a problem. That sounds nice on paper, but the nuance of how a spender is going to struggle to even bother to obtain these skins still exists. And this is why I'm saying it's important that we see how they are going to structure the integrated version. Seeing how it's all structured gives us a clearer picture over what's going on alongside the plan that was posted on their official site. And it really shows how much of a big ask having 15 weeks squeezed into 6 really is. Clearly this isn't everything, but it gives you an idea of what the integrated version will look like. According to the Twitter post, they also said that more content will debut in the new version because, of course, there's a lot of content inside each original version. They're not going to show you everything in this small post. But here's the thing. Kuro has yet to address the problems having to do with the spenders, as they're the ones getting shafted by this plan. Despite all of that, I'm still excited. Let's be honest, our queen will soon arrive. What more could you ask for? Oh yeah, the S-ring selector, that's pretty hype. It goes up to Isla Kaleido, which is cool, but most of the characters behind her has already been or will get power crept, except for a couple. But you know what's actually crazy? I'm still hyped about the skins. Sure, with all of the problems we have as spenders, somehow I'm still excited about them. Though, if things don't change, I'm not sure what to do. Tell you what, if nothing changes and Kuro doesn't listen, hear me out. Just go free to play for the rest of 2025. At the end of the day, free to play will have an amazing time in PGR next year, because we're stock filled with free characters left and right. If you are someone who cares about meta, well, I honestly think it's time to stop caring about meta. Due to how the integrated versions work, a lot of the characters are going to get power crept in a rapid pace. It's not worth it. Just roll for who you like, end of story. Finally, for the skin wanters like me, this one is going to be a tough pill to swallow. But I'd say you might want to hold off on buying skins unless you know there's a skin that you'll move heaven and earth to get. Besides, skins can power creep themselves. Kuro always makes better skins for your favorite character. That's how it's always been. Though at the end of the day, what you do with your money is up to you. I'm just throwing out some suggestions. But yeah, that's all we got for now. Put down in the comments what you think about this, because I'm curious to see if you all like how this version is structured, or are you concerned over how the timings work. Also, feel free to like and subscribe if you want. That said, still keeping an eye out on whether or not they will respond to our initial feedback on the current plans. Anyway, see you in the next one. Bye!